my name is Jana Kay. Welcome to Flourish Crochet, and this is Christmas Extravaganza 2025, Christmas in July. And my series is all about adding a touch of handmade to your gifts this Christmas. Maybe you do wait until the last minute, like some of us do, or maybe you just don't know if the people that you're giving gifts to will enjoy handmade gifts. Maybe you don't want to make a big project. Well, this series then is for you. I am going to show you different things, small projects that you can add to your gift giving to add just a touch of your personality, your love for crafting to their gifts. So let's get started with our first touch of handmade. So today I am going to introduce you to the washcloth. This is not a new idea. Washcloths have been made over and over and over again by knitters and crocheters, by all sorts of crafters, because they make great additions to gifts. And actually, I make washcloths because I use them in my own kitchen. I absolutely love them. So I'm going to show you first different ways that I have tried, and I'm sure that you all are very creative and know some other ways, but different ways that I have tied them up to make them look pretty for an addition to Christmas gifts. So this one was just folded 4 times and tied. This one was folded in half and then long ways in half and tied. This one I folded into 2 triangles and tied it over each side of the triangle and then finished it with a bow. This one I just gathered up like you would tissue paper and tied it around, so it might be nice to stuff down in a package. And this one I rolled, so you can see that I actually rolled it up and then folded it and tied it together. Kind of looks like, I've seen people do this for like Easter as bunny ears. But I thought that was really a cute and different way to fold it. But I want to show you these patterns because, as I said in the introduction, that these are to be really small, simple, and even quick gifts to make. So I stuck with 2 basic patterns in knit and in crochet. So I'll show you the knit first. So the first one, let me untie it, is the seed stitch. Now for all of these, I just used my scrap cotton yarn. Cotton makes the best washcloths, and if you really want soft washcloths, I love this cotton, is one of my favorites, but I think this one was a cake, and it was either by Premier or Red Heart or Lion Brand. Anyway, but it was a sparkly cake, and you can see it had long color changes. So I started here and then the color changed. In fact, I made another washcloth that I have, but this stitch is called the seed stitch. And basically you alternate knit and purl. So you'll knit, purl, knit, purl, knit, purl all the way across. When you change sides, then you knit on top of purls and you purl on top of knits so that it is the same back and front. I just find my preference, which doesn't make it right, but my preference is stitches that are close together, not lacy stitches. And this makes a really nice fabric that will stretch a little bit when you get it wet, but holds up very well. And your whole hand is covered for wiping countertops, for bathing, whatever it is. There's not holes so your fingers don't come through. And I do use about 1 to 2 sizes either in needles or in crochet hooks smaller than what the yarn actually calls for, to make sure that it is tight and does not, when it gets wet, spread apart too much and have too many holes. So this is the knit seed stitch basic, and then I just did garter stitch, which is basically you knit, and then when you turn it you purl, and then when you turn it you knit. So I did that for 3 stitches around the border, and then I did that for 5 rows at the bottom and at the top. The other one, I really think this is a beautiful stitch. It is called the moss stitch in knitting. There is a moss stitch in crochet, which I will show you. This is the moss stitch in knitting, and I think it is absolutely beautiful. Sorry, after being tied up, it is not straight. But anyway, hopefully you can see the texture of that. I think it is so beautiful. So the moss stitch, you basically do the seed stitch. So you knit, purl, knit, purl, knit, purl. But the next row, instead of alternating and knitting on top of purls, you knit on top of knit. So you do 2 rows where the purls sit on each top of each other and the knit stitches sit on top of each other. Then the next 2 rows you alternate, and so the purl, you'll do 2 rows where the purls sit on top of the knit and the knit sit on top of the purl. So it just makes these real pretty, almost diamond shape looking stitches, and a very, very good texture. Still a very tight texture, so when it gets wet, that it holds up. It does not open up too many holes. So I think this yarn called for a 4.5 or 5 millimeter needles, and I used 4 millimeter needles. That's what I made the lighter blue out of this cake. I did it, it was too tight, and it started, instead of laying flat, it started to kind of bunch up because I used 3.5 millimeter needles. They were just too small. But so I think I went down maybe a half millimeter, so 1 hook or 1 needle size for that. So that's the moss stitch in knit and the seed stitch. You can see the difference, hopefully, in the 2. So in crochet, I also did the moss stitch, and this one is the moss stitch. Again, it's like the seed stitch in knitting. It actually looks quite a bit like knitting. It's got a knit kind of look to it, but you do knit, not knit, you single crochet, chain 1, single crochet, then on the next row you single crochet into those chain 1 spaces, and then do a chain 1 and skip the single crochet. So it alternates chain 1s and single crochets. It is a beautiful stitch, plain, simple, but like I said, these are ideas of something you can work up very quickly to add to a gift. Maybe you're giving body wash, soap, shampoo. Maybe you're giving a gift voucher, gift certificate, or a gift card to a spa, and you can wrap or tie the gift card up in a washcloth just to add a touch of handmade. Any gift card, maybe you're giving a gift card to like a Bath and Body Works, a shop where they can go and buy soaps and body washes and sprays and things like that. Maybe you're giving the gift of perfume, and these would be great to go along with those gifts. So maybe you're even giving a gift that goes in the kitchen, and you can add a washcloth and some dish soap to go with it. Maybe you're giving something like an air fryer or a crock pot or a blender, something like that, and you can add a handmade gift to that. So that is the moss stitch. Very basic, very beautiful. And to me, the reason to make washcloths is so that you can use them. And this stitch is very usable. Again, it holds up well underwater. It doesn't open up and spread out and create holes, and just really nice texture for scrubbing. And so that is the moss stitch. The next one is the lemon peel stitch. If you want to go for looks and a really good looking stitch, then this is it. The lemon peel, again, very quick, very easy, but look how beautiful that stitch is. This alternates single and double crochet. And that's all you do is alternate it. And then on the next row, you do single on top of double, double on top of single. And it is the lemon peel stitch. And for the crochet ones, I did not do any kind of border. I just did the stitch. You'll notice all my washcloths are different sizes. I did not measure them. Some people want to be exact and do 8x8 or 7x7. I did them in all different sizes. In fact, this knit one with the seed stitch is very tiny. And then this one that I did with the moss stitch got a little bit bigger. So very easy, very quick stitches, and they make a really nice, lovely, usable gift to go along with what you're giving. So the other washcloth that I showed you is a purchased washcloth that I embroidered on. Now this particular washcloth is not a fancy, nice washcloth. I am using, as I said, scrap yarn in my stash, and I just happened to use a washcloth that I had on hand, and I embroidered some flowers on it. And washcloths are really nice when you're embroidering. They're very forgiving because of the terry cloth that they're made out of. They hide a lot of the stitches, but there is the back side. It's not lovely, but it's not all that terrible either as far as the stitches go. I did, when I did these flowers, I did a flower, tied it off, did the flower, tied it off. I did not carry thread in the back from one flower to the next. So I did do it that way. I did do some of the leaves that were close together, and I did the stems separately. But if you look on the back, I think you can see the stems really hide back there in the terry cloth. And like I said, this is a very old, used washcloth. So if you use a really fluffy one to embroider on, it will hide some of those stitches in the back pretty well. So that is the design that I made at the corner, just to add a touch of handmade to a gift that you are given. So that is idea number one for how to add a creative touch to the gifts that you may be giving this Christmas. My plan is to do 8 total videos. And so if you are watching this after the month of July, I should have 8 videos in a playlist called Christmas Extravaganza 2025. You can check those out. If you are watching this as soon as it has come out, the first week in July, then hope you'll join me for the next 7 videos that I will be putting out of how to add a touch of you, handmade, to the gifts you will be giving this Christmas. Y'all have a lovely day. Bye-bye, y'all.